If it is direct variation, it's always going to pass through the origin. So you're going to look at the origin on each of those. The graph passes through the origin, so this is direct variation. The graph does not pass through the origin, so this is not a direct variation. The graph passes through the origin, so that is direct variation. And then they also have a proportional relationship. It's called the constant of variation, which we know is slope, okay? And it's always in front of x. It's always in front of x. So my constant of variation is 3 over 5. My constant of variation is -3, which is the same thing as -3 over 1. My constant of variation is 1 over 2. Now, another way you can tell if it's direct variation is it will have no plus or minus because it's not going to have a y-intercept other than 0. So 4/5 x is a direct variation. 5x minus 2, this is not a direct variation because that goes through -2 on the y-axis. That has a plus, so that is not a direct variation. And then the last one, y equals x, that is direct variation because there's not a plus or minus. On the next set of problems, it says name the constant of variation for each equation. Now remember, the constant of variation is what is in front of x. So that would be 3 over 4. On the second graph, what's in front of x is -5 over 2. That is my constant of variation. It also asks me to determine the slope of the line that passes through the points. Now remember, to find slope, you are going to set up your t-chart and you are going to find the rate of change. Now, if I were to find the rate of change, I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4, 3 minus 0 is 3, swing it over. 3 over 4 is the exact same thing. So your slope and your constant are the same. -2 minus 0 is -2, 5 minus 0 is 5, swing it over. 5 over -2 is the same thing as -5 over 2. So the slope and the constant of variation are the same. Now, to graph, you are always going to start at the origin. So I'm going to put a dot at the origin on all of these. The top number is going to tell you how many spaces to move up or down. So if it's positive, you're going to go up. If it's negative, you're going to go down. So -2 is going to tell me to go down. 4 is going to tell me to go up. 3 is going to tell me to go up. -4 is going to tell me to go down. The bottom number is going to tell you how many spaces to move to the right. So you're always going to move to the right when you're graphing. It just makes it easier to follow that rule. So the 5, I don't put the negative on both, just one of them. So 5 to the right, 3 to the right. If there's not a number, you put a 1, 1 to the right. If there's not a number, you put a 1, 1 to the right. Now I'm going to do both of these together to plot my point, all right? So starting at the origin, you go down 2 and then over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot. And there is my line. It's decreasing. Start at the origin, go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. And there is your line, your direct variation. On the third graph, I'm start at the origin, go up 3, 1, 2, 3, to the right 1, and then draw your line. There's your direct variation. On the last graph, start at the origin, go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1. And there's your direct variation. Now, on the next set, it says, suppose y varies directly as x. Anytime you see varies directly, you're going to set up a ratio. So what's in front is going to go on top. What's in the back is going to go on the bottom. Okay? Now, on the top I have y. So I have y as 80 and I have y as 100. On the bottom, you've got x. X is 32 and it says find x. Now, the groupings, it's pretty easy to tell because see that comma keeps it separate. So 80 goes on the top, 32 goes on the bottom, equals, and over here, x goes on the bottom, and then 100 goes on the top. You just match. Now, since we are layering concepts, I'm going to teach you a way to put this in your calculator. you go to menu 3, 1, and you're going to enter this in, and when you enter it in, you've got to put comma, and we're solving for x. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do this. So you can go menu, algebra 3, 1 numerical solve. Hit Control Enter to make your fraction, and your fraction is 80 over 32. Arrow over, hit the equal sign, Control divide, and you have 100 over x. Now you have to arrow over, then hit comma x. That's what you're solving for. Enter. So it's 40. So x equals 40, and you're done. Okay? So let's practice setting it up. So we know it varies directly, so we're going to have y over x. Make sure you look carefully. Here's y, and here's y. And this is x, and this is x. Remember, my x's go on the bottom, and my y's are going to go on the top. Now look at your comma. That's what separates. So 7.5 goes on the top, and then 0.5, a half, goes on the bottom. Y goes on the top, and then negative 0.3 goes on the bottom. So again, you're going to follow the rules. Menu 3, 1, but this time it's going to be comma y, because I'm solving for y. Okay? So menu 3, 1, and then you hit Control divide. 7.5, 7 and oops. So make sure you're in the right spot. So 7.5 over 0.5. Arrow over, hit the equal sign, Control divide, and you have y over negative 0.3. And then arrow over, hit comma, and y, and enter. So it's negative 4.5, negative 4.5. That is your answer. Okay? Number 7. A local fast food restaurant takes in 9,000 in a 4-hour period. Write a direct variation. Guys, anytime you see direct variation, set up a ratio proportion. What two things are you comparing? Money to hours. Okay? So let's go through and let's look. Money is going to go on the top. I've got 9,000 and I've got 20,250. And then what's the other thing we've got? I've got hours. 4 hours, and it says how many hours. So I'm going to use H, okay? So 9,000 over 4, and then that equals 20,000 goes on the top. You do not need to put your comma, over use H. Now, I'm going to do the menu 3, 1, okay? So you're going to go menu 3, 1, and I have to put comma H, because that's what I'm solving for. Now, this will be the last time I do this on the calculator. The rest of them will set up, and you can solve them on your calculator, but I'm just not going to show the steps every single time, okay? Equals, and then Control divide, 20250 over, and then there's your x. And I have to arrow over and then put comma x, and then enter, and it's 9. So my answer would be 9. So it's 9 hours, okay? So the last few problems, we're going to focus on setting them up. 8. If A equals BC, where B is a non-zero constant. Now, guys, when you have something like that, remember our equation. This is a direct variation, okay? So if it's a direct variation, I'm going to be comparing A to C. Set my ratio proportion, all right? So let's set it. Look for your A's. A is 42, A is 70, and then C is 6, and there's C. All right, so we're going to set it up, and remember the commas will help you see what goes together. So I have 42 over 6 equals 70 over C. And then you're going to do the menu 3, 1, and after you do menu 3, 1, you're going to do comma C. And when you do that, you should get C equals 10. So you can pause the video and do that in class and we'll see if you get that. Number 9, the weight of a bag of golf balls varies directly. Oh, anytime you see varies directly, you know you're going to set it up. I'm comparing weight to the number of golf balls. Okay, so this is weight to the number of golf balls. All right, so let's look. Let's go and look through our problem. If the bag of 69 golf balls, so there's 69 golf balls, and then this is 3,036 grams, that's my weight. How many golf balls are in there if there's 1,044 grams, okay? So this is how many golf balls. So I'm going to set it up, and remember the comma will help you to separate. So this right here, all of that goes together. 69 is going to go on the bottom. 3,036 goes on the top. How many golf balls? I can use G. And 1,144 grams goes on the top. And then I'm going to say menu 3-1, and you can plug this into your calculator, and you're going to have to do comma G to solve it. And when you do that, you're going to get the answer of 26 golf balls. So 26 golf balls will weigh 1,144 grams. On number 10, it says the cost of bananas varies directly. Guys, anytime you see varies directly, you're going to set up a ratio proportion. Cost to weight. So remember, cost is money, and then the weight. So let's look and see what we've got here. So 3.5 pounds, that is weight. And then $1.12, that is the cost. Write an equation that relates the cost of the bananas to their weight. Then find the cost of, oh, this is also pounds. And I'm looking for cost. So we're going to set it up. If it's in the sentence together, it goes together. All right? So $1.12 for 3.5 pounds. A half is 0.5. If you're not sure how to do that, you can do 1 divided by 2 and then hit Control Enter, and that's 0.5. So just put your 3 in front of it. So 3.5. And then the other one is, so let's do that one. It's going to be, now this is pounds, so it's going to go on the bottom, 4 point, okay? And see that 1/4? I'm going to put that in the fraction. 1 divided by 4, enter. Now do Control Enter, it's 0.25. Some of you know that, but some of you don't. Okay? And then you set it up and do menu 3, 1, and then do comma X to solve for it. You could do B, and it would be $1.36. So it would be $1.36 for 4.25 pounds. The last one. Two quantities, X and Y, are in a relationship in which Y varies directly with X. Guys, anytime you see that, Y, do whichever one comes first. Y over X. Okay, Y over X. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to look for my Y's. So, oh, I have an ordered pair. Remember, anytime you have an ordered pair, it's always X comma Y. All right, always, always, always. So this is my X and that's my Y. So my Y is 21, and then my X is negative 16. Okay? So I have 21 over negative 16. I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else. So look at this right here. Negative. Let's put that in the calculator. So you got Control Divide. You have negative 21 over 16. Enter. Well, that's what it gave me. So do Control Enter. It's negative 1 point something. All right? So this is negative 1 point something. It's negative, so that tells me it can't be A. That's a negative. That's a negative. That's not, so it can't be that one. Now look, it's 1 point something. This is less than 1 because 16 is smaller. This is negative 1 point. Look at the 5 divided by 16. Put that in your calculator. So 5 divided by 16, enter, and then do Control Enter, 0.3125. See? That matches. So that would be my answer, C. And that is direct variation.